ka man, dalhin ang kapalaran. Iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman, pinagmulan at babalikan. Konting tiis na lang at hanggang sa araw na yan ay asal. Kami nandito lang, sabay na pakinggan ang mga kwento nyo. Isigaw natin sa mundo, bagong bayani namin kayo. Sipag at tapang nyo, hinialay sa mundo, sinasaludo namin kayo. Pilipino, itaas ang noo, ipagmalaki mo ang galing nyo, isigaw sa mundo. Juan, saan ka man, dalhin ang kapalaran. Iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman, pinagmulan at babalikan. Konting tiis na lang at hanggang sa araw na yan ay asal. Kami nandito lang, sabay na pakinggan ang mga kwento nyo. Isigaw natin sa mundo, bagong bayani namin kayo. Sipag at tapang nyo, hinialay sa mundo, sinasaludo namin kayo. Pilipino, itaas ang noo, ipagmalaki mo ang galing nyo, isigaw sa mundo.
Magandang hapon UK, magandang hapon Europa, magandang gabi Pilipinas. At kung saan man po kayo naroroon, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ito po ang Public Service ka-Konek. Kwentong Pinoy, kwentong migrante, kwentong ka-Konek. Ako po si Rose Eclarinal.
And I'm Crystal Diaz.
Okay, ngayong hapon po, napaka-special pa rin ng ating program dahil pag-uusapan po natin ang Balik Eskuwela. At kung Balik Eskuwela lang naman ang pag-uusapan, bigatin po ang guest natin ngayon. Makakasama natin live mula po sa Baguio City, si Professor Analyn Salvador Amores. At sa buwan ng Wika po, pagtatapos ng buwan ng Wika, makakasama po natin ang Yapak Ambassador in the Philippines para sa kanyang spoken words poetry na si Fitzken John Victor Garcia III. At ngayon din po, makakasama rin natin para po sa unlockdown situation sa England. Malalaman po natin kung ano yung umaatikabong aksyon na nangyayari o mangyayari sa Willesden ngayong hapon sa Phil UK Nation Select Showcase. Makakausap po natin doon si Mr. Clive Castillo. At for Immigration 101, what do we have, Crystal?
Today, it's a very topical. We'll be talking about refugee, on how to claim asylum in the UK. As you know, because of what's happening in Afghanistan, it's a very interesting segment today. So please stay tuned.
Yes, dahil alam naman po natin mga kababayan, tinutukan po natin ang kwento ng mga OFW natin sa Afghanistan na inililikas magsimula po ng nagkaroon ng gulo doon. Ang iba po nating kababayan ay dinala po or lumanding dito sa UK when they were rescued by the British forces. Usap din po natin ang ilan sa kanila para ikwento ang kanilang storya ng pagtakas sa Kabul, Afghanistan. Mamaya po yan. Pero ngayon, live po mula sa Willesden, makakasama na po natin si Mr. Clive Castillo. Hello, Clive!
Hi, everyone. Hi, Rose. Hi, Crystal.
Hello! So, Clive, maraming salamat sa iyo for joining us this afternoon. Alam ko, at 2 o'clock, magiging busy ka na because of an event happening there at Willesden. Ito po yung pinakaabangan ng mga kabataan sa London, Phil UK Nation Select. Pero bago natin pag-usapan yan, Clive, next week, balik eskwela na ang mga estudyante. I understand you are also teaching in a college or university?
Yes, Rose. I currently work in academia, so I work at the University of Westminster, where I've been lecturing there for the past 5 to 6 years, as well as coaching the basketball team there as well.
Okay, Clive, tell us, are there apprehensions from families, from parents, because students are going back to face classes this coming week?
Yes, there is. Of course, we can say in the current situation, a lot of with Westminster, we're one of the most diverse universities in London, so we get a lot of international students flying in because they want to be in London. Get a lot of Filipino international students as well. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Apologies, but university have taken a lot of restrictions and have put in a lot of safety and notifications to students to make sure that they are entering a safe environment and that everything is going back to, in a way, normality that we're trying to get. The students are excited, so I always keep in touch with my students. They're excited to have that full experience in that environment of just being in that learning environment and being back on campus.
Crystal, you have a question for Clive?
He said he's a lecturer and he looks so young. You know, it's amazing that we found out that not only he's a lecturer, he's also a basketball coach. But Clive, can you tell us, how did you choose this path? You know, when did you decide to become, to enter the academia?
It kind of, in a way, fed into my career. I was web designing and creating content from a very young age, and worked in the industry. I was a digital design manager for certain companies, worked internationally, had the opportunities to lead my own design teams as well, and then had a thankful opportunity from a great mentor to come into university, which I graduated from, to deliver some workshops. And from educating and having that experience of, you know, being around students, I decided this would be more of my career path, and eventually pursued my further education. So I have my master's degree, but also growing up in sports, I've always been a big fan of basketball and all sports, and kind of what the education the education system and what it can provide and the pathways that it has. So it's an interesting, I would say, a route. It's quite unique, but very fortunate in the career opportunities that I've had.
Okay. Clive, before we talk about the Phil UK Nation Select, may I ask you the last question related to education? What are the safety nets being put in place for the return to face-to-face classes by colleges and universities?
I mean, every university has their own protocols, the way they handle things. Our university has decided to go more hybrid. I think that's the way that the world is moving, especially after the pandemic. And you know, having a blended way of learning, practical sessions mixed with online theory learning, and that's the way the university has effectively broken it down to students. So we're flying in for accommodation and flying in for that university experience. But if, for example, we can maintain crowds, so we don't have, for example, large lecture halls or different maybe, you know, massive workshops that potentially can be run online instead, then, you know, the university would rather have that in an online based way of learning, and then have practical sessions where it's in smaller groups, which can help keep the quality of teaching at university, but still provide that whole experience of students being on campus, because it's important for mental health, it's important for their education. You know, students pay thousands of pounds to go into higher education, so it's really important that they get that full experience out of it.
Great. Thank you so much for that. Now, Clive, can you please tell us what's the action happening behind you? So, ano yung mangyayari at 2 o'clock in the afternoon there at Willesden? Tell us about it.
Yes, so currently we're actually setting up still. So there's as you can see, it's a massive basketball venue behind us. We're based in Willesden, Capital City Academy. We're running the first ever Phil UK Nation Select Showcase. Phil UK Nation is basically founded by myself and working with Christian Gopez, who's the founder of Philam Nation. So we connected through lockdown last year and we collaborated together. And we found that we have a lot of the same interests in developing community relationships, developing grassroots basketball, helping female participation in sport. We found that a lot of our interests really tie well, and that's where the Phil UK Nation came from. And this is our first showcase event. So we ran 3 regional camps last week in different areas of the UK.
Clive, do you mind if we ask you to stoop down a bit because we can't see your face? I think you're so tall.
Sorry, it's just the camera. Apologies.
Okay.
So,
yes,
That's better.
I think your fans, your family, everybody wants to see your face. Thank you so much. And apologies for not calling you out on that earlier. That is much better. We wanted to see your face. That's
I was just worried about the sound.
Go ahead.
I couldn't hear it.
Yes,
I have a question, Rose.
Go ahead.
Yes, so we had 3 regional camps across the UK. So we went up to North, where we had athletes from Manchester, Derby, and all the North areas. Midlands, people coming up as well. Then we had 1 camp in South East and London. So a lot of families and kids have travelled all the way today to London to be part of this showcase event, which is being live streamed as well. And hopefully, we help to provide athletes in the UK with opportunities to, a platform where we can help build their profiles, show that, through the lockdown and through pandemic, we can still participate in sports and actively participate. And, we have a good amount of talent here in the UK. So it's just more important that we have a platform that we can showcase our talent here, not just in basketball. Phil UK Nation Select focuses on a lot of different sports, potentially going into football, rugby. We have some amazing Filipino-British athletes that are doing very well in their fields, and they've shown great support to our program. So we're looking to expand it more, but this is the first one. This is the basketball event.
Crystal, go ahead.
I'm glad Clive said that they encourage women to join Phil UK Nation. Are there any criteria on joining your group, if any?
No, we're pretty much we welcome all talent levels. We just want to grow the participation, and if there's anyone specifically talented, for example, we had a girl up north. Her name was Charmaine, who's actually part of the England basketball selection. So she actually got invited to try it out for the national team, and we were just amazed to see that there are talent out there, but there was just no platform. So, but that's just one. But for example, we just want to help grow. The more people see that Filipinos in the UK are actively playing sports and being part of something, being part of an environment where it's safe. You've got professional coaches here that have played in Philippines, in the PBA, that have played in the UAP. We have coaches that are doing very well in the community here. So we just want to help grow the participation. And if there's any talent that there is that we find, we can help provide educational pathways in a way, and hopefully people can see them and see that, sports can be a vehicle for education. Kids can get a scholarship in the Philippines or here or in America, and that could be an opportunity for them to really better themselves. Because when I was doing sports, I really learned the soft skills that I applied into my career, leadership, teamwork, different skill sets that I now apply into my career that I've really learned from sports. That's why I really got into coaching as well. I really enjoy it.
Amazing. Thank you for that. So there's no height restrictions then?
No, I'm bending down. I'm 6 foot, but I'm not. That's why my back hurts at the moment, because I'm trying to bend down.
Listen, I'm 4'11", so I'm not sure.
That explains
have-
it, Clive. That's why we
Yes.
couldn't see your face because the camera was positioned just up to your chin. But anyway, there was a question here from Marie Fairbank asking about Phil UK Nation Select. If you are just concentrating on basketball leagues or athletes doing this sport, but you already mentioned that you're doing rugby, football, correct?
We want to. We've Finam Nation and the founders of the whole program have developed good relationships with the federations in the Philippines, like SPP. We are developing our relationships with like the Philippine Rugby and the Football Association. So we want to expand, and once we build those bridges, we can eventually, branch out to sports. I mean, UK is obviously famous for football. That's our number one sport here, and we have a successful amount of Filipino British footballers that have represented national teams that have come back to the Philippines and played professionally. So this is something that we would love to get involved in. As I mentioned, this is only our basketball event, but we've had inquiries to do football, rugby, other events as well. It's just more about building and growing us as a organization and getting people to recognize what we're trying to do, because it's quite new to everyone, isn't it?
Okay, fantastic. So, Clive, can you please tell us what's going to happen at 2 o'clock and where can they watch it, and maybe your contact details and website?
Perfect. You can follow us at Phil UK Nation Select. So it's at Phil UK Nation Select. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. At the moment, the link is on the bio. So we have a YouTube link. So the actual event itself is being professionally streamed, so you can actually see all the players that are participating, where they're from. We've had parents come and kids come all the way from Manchester to be here, so I'm very thankful that everyone is here to actually be part of this event. Me and the team, me and Ryan Abaleda, who is the technical director, we've worked really hard to bring everyone together, but you could find out more about us on our Instagram or Facebook. We have the live link there as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Clive Castillo. So yung mga nanonood po sa atin sa One You Connect at 2 o'clock, lipat po kayo sa YouTube ng Phil UK Nation Select. You will be able to see the sport happening, yung showcase na mangyayari ngayong hapon at 2 o'clock. Maraming salamat. More power to your group, Clive, and to you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Thank you. Magbabalik po ang One You Connect.
This segment is brought to you by World Remit, a better way to send money.
Katuwang ko ang World Remit para mabigyan ka ng magandang bukas. Kahit malayo man tayo sa isa't isa, minsan hindi may iwasan ikumpara ang ating sarili sa iba. Pero ang perang pinadala ay nagsisigurong kasama ka pa rin nila sa pagtupad ng inyong mga pangarap. Sobrang proud ako bilang iyong ina, kasing proud mo ngayon na nagsisimula ng panibagong yugto ng tagumpay.
Nagbabalik po ang One You Connect at kwento o kwentuhang balik eskwela pa rin po tayo ngayong hapon. Pero mga ka-Konek, I just want to tell you, yung mga nag-aabang po kay Kiara Gregorio na dapat ay magre-report mula po sa Willesden Junction. She couldn't join us this afternoon because of a family emergency. So Kiara, mag-iingat ka. We hope to have you back next time. No? So there you go, Crystal. Balik Eskuwela. Ang guest po natin ngayong hapon talaga namang bigatin. Kung pag-uusapan natin yung pagiging global scholar, pagiging professor, pagiging researcher, ito po yung perfect guest for us. Mahaba yung pinagsamahan natin, naming dalawa, kaya I will just leave it to Crystal na siya yung mag-introduce sa ating guest para magkaroon ng konting excitement. I'm not saying I'm not excited. I'm super excited. Pero kilala ko po siya since university days namin sa UP, 17, 18 years old. So yan, makakasama po natin ang ating special guest ngayong hapon para po pag-usapan natin ang Balik Eskuwela. Crystal?
Okay, I'm a bit nervous introducing this lady because she's absolutely amazing. Okay, let me start off by saying she's a professor. So, Professor Analyn Salvador Amores, also known as Ikin, is a social anthropologist and an associate professor at the College of Social Sciences, University of the Philippines, Baguio. She earned her Bachelor of Arts in 1995 and Master of Arts in 2002. From the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and her master's in 2008 and doctorate 2011 degrees in social and cultural anthropology from Oxford University in the UK. She is Dr. Genius. She was featured in Wikipedia's Women, highlighting her research on anthropology and her numerous awards, including Outstanding Young Scientist in the field of social anthropology with the National Academy of Science and Technology, the highest and most prestigious academic award giving body in the Philippines. What about that? So please welcome Professor Analyn Salvador Amores.
Wow!
Hi.
Hello,
There
good
she
evening.
is.
Good
It's
evening,
good
Professor.
evening here. So yeah, good evening everybody. So thank you for having me in your show. It's a pleasure to see you again, Rose, and also Crystal.
Yes.
Nice to meet you both.
Nice to see you back. Alam mo, we were going down the memory lane because the photos being shown a while ago at Oxford University was the graduation of Professor Salvador Amores when she earned her PhD at University of Oxford. And Crystal, I was lucky to be invited to attend that event. Ito yung first time ko rin experience ang graduation sa Oxford because Analyn
At the
invited me.
Shilbanian, yeah.
Oo, Analyn. At saka nakaka-overwhelm pala yung yung rights, yung graduation rights ng Oxford because
Yes.
of our friend here, si Ikin. We were able to attend that. Ayan. And alam mo ba, let me just tell you this because I'm proud of my friend or proud of this professor. Alam nyo, si Professor Salvador Amores, ang kauna-unahang Filipina to have earned a doctor in philosophy in anthropology. Siya po yun. Siya ang kauna-unahang Pinay na nakakuha niyan sa University of Oxford. Ayan. So, yan lang naman ang pwede nating, among other things, ang ating pwedeng ipagwagaway na bandila ng Pinay. Okay, at ng UP.
Salamat, Rose.
It's women's power as well. Huh?
Yes. So now, first question, Professor, is doon po sa mga gustong maging global scholar like yourself, who you have studied in some of the best, or one of the best universities, or the best university in the world, paano ba magkaroon ng scholarship in Oxford?
Okay, I started with several applications. There are available scholarships in the UK and, of course, in the US. In the US, there's the Fulbright Scholarship. In the UK, there's the Chevening Scholarship by the British Council. At meron ding Ford Foundation International Fellowship Program where I applied. So at first, I was thinking of going to the US, no, but again, I've read a lot of British social anthropologists, which piqued my interest on anthropology. So I applied for the IFP and then eventually made it, no. So my tip for those who are interested to study abroad in the UK or in the US is to show your passion in the kind of discipline that you want to be there to work on. For instance, I've been interested in anthropology all throughout, like my master's and then MPhil and then PhD. These are all anthropology, and that you are interested in a specific topic that can contribute greatly for our country. As a scholar of the Ford Foundation Fellowship Program, there is an unwritten contract to serve your country when you return. So that was in mind because anthropology is a major course, no, but we need people like the la creme de la creme to teach that to the younger generation. So I had that in mind. So when I finished my doctorate in social anthropology, I returned to my country to serve the university and as well as teach anthropology and do immersion to a lot of communities. And the topic that I wrote is on traditional tattoos, which is until now, 10 years ago, I wrote about it and it's still relevant until today.
Great. So, yun, mga nanonood po natin, if you want to have a scholarship, tingnan po ninyo, kailangan kasi may mga scholarship na kailangan talaga bumalik ka sa country of origin mo para makapag-serve ka for your country. For example nga, yung nabanggit ni Professor Amores Salvador, na katulad ng Ford Foundation, kasi pumipili talaga sila ng pinakamagagaling para pag-aralin sa pinakamagaganda o the best institutions in the world also. So that pag bumalik po sila sa sarili-sarili nilang bansa, wherever it may be, ay merong continuation or may magpapatuloy at may magbabahagi ng knowledge para sa the younger generation. Okay? Crystal, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with Professor Salvador. That she is giving back after she's had all these achievements. She's gone back to the Philippines and teaching our future anthropologists. Because I asked her earlier, diba po, Professor, why didn't you stay in the UK and teach in the UK? But now I've heard, obviously, giving back to the Philippines is very important. So the next question, my question is, when are you likely to come back po sa UK?
Okay. When I finished the degree, we were given a chance to teach for 2 years or work for 2 years after graduation in the UK. But like I said, I chose to come back to my country because I have a commitment to my university. I really don't have in mind when to return to the UK. The last one I was there was 2017 to attend a conference in Oxford during the Euroseas conference in Asia, and then I was also the speaker for the Cordillera Conference at SOAS upon invitation in 2018. No, so I'd like to return also in order to promote Philippine culture, Philippine studies, because there's a lot of Philippine experts, no, in the country who may be wanting to share their knowledge um, and knowledge on the Philippine culture, no. So that's very important. Aside from being professors, we're also cultural ambassadors based on the expertise that we have learned, and also it is important, no, to have the bearing that you are a Filipino, you have this kind of identity, and you are proud of your culture. So when I returned back to the Philippines a few years, the assumption there, like what my advisors in Oxford said, that you become a cultural leader, no, when you come back to your country. So I think the prophecy or uh, their prospects, no, their future plans. No, after working together with them for 4 years in Oxford, they said that you become a cultural leader, and that's very important contribution to your country. So here we are. I'm back in the university, and of course, I work with indigenous peoples. And also, if there's a chance to share this in the UK or anything, I'll be happy to come back. But of course, I have a commitment to UP. My loyalties with the university.
Professor
Thank you.
Salvador Amores, my question is, you have studied tattooing, and I think that was the subject of your dissertation for
Yeah.
University of Oxford. Why did you pick that subject, tattooing? Kasi
Yes.
parang, go
Yeah.
ahead.
For this particular group in Northern Luzon, this is the book that I wrote. This is my PhD dissertation in Oxford. So why tattoos and why the Igorots? Why Kalinga? Uh, in the past, during the American colonial period or even before, these indigenous groups are highly marginalized. They were viewed as savages because they have a different view of their tattoos in the past. So they were portrayed as different, no? There was a form of othering from these communities in northern Luzon, and it's the least studied subject 10 years ago or more. So I was interested because a lot of scholars have said that this is a disappearing culture, and I didn't like to write about disappearing cultures. So I decided to pursue a research among the Kalinga. They are well known for traditional tattoos, but highly they were documented in a lot of colonial photography in the 1900s. So I decided to look for a community. And unfortunately, a lot of our traditional tattoo practitioners are all gone in the communities of Bontoc, in Ifugao. And then I finally found Wang Ud. She's the 90-year-old tattoo practitioner in the village of Kalinga. And I was very interested to just study the tattoos. But when I saw her tattooing, I also got tattoos in order to experience the pain that was experienced by the younger generation of tattooed elders in the past. No? So I wanted to explain that. So I came up with the book and stayed in the community for 16 months
Okay.
to study the designs, the process, and the culture of tattooing.
Okay. I think ang pinakamainit, Professor Salvador Amores, na issue on tattooing is the one that recently came up. Sinabi mo na hindi popular yung tattooing, but now it's popular. Even Nas Daily wanted to have it available for everybody on social media. Yung issue about Wang Od and Nas Daily. Would you be able to impart something or share with us on update on that?
Yeah, so traditional tattoos is a place-based practice, no? So originally it was only for the community, no? And then the book came out, a lot of people came in, a lot of tourists came in, local and foreign. And then you got this a lot of documentaries also on Wangwood, and the recent one is on Nas Daily. So what happened there? I think the team of NAS went there to pitch the idea of having to teach for having Wang Ud to teach online, no, this process of tattooing. But of course, under the IPRA law, that's the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act, uh, it aims to protect and respect the cultures of these indigenous communities. And of course, if you are an outsider or wanting to study tattoos or wanting to do a documentary, you have to go through the FPIC. This is the Free Prior Informed Consent. No, so you have to seek permission from the community. Now, they sought a personal consent from Wang Ud, but the practice of tattooing or the tattoo designs itself or the whole culture of tattooing was passed on from generation to another generation until Wang Ud and sa mga apprentice ngayon, no, the younger ones. So this is not just owned by Wang Ud. It is owned by the Kalinga people. So the consent should come from the entire community, no? So traditionally, if you seek FPIC, like in my other researches in the Cordillera, I have to consult the entire community if they are willing to have this documented, and if they are they agree with the kind of contract or arrangement. But how the one that happened in the Nas Daily, the community was not consulted at all. So that's the issue there, no, the ownership and the from the community itself.
Great. Thank you for shedding light on that, Professor Salvador Amores. So I think we will have to ask you about the reopening of classes dahil ang topic po natin ay Balik Eskuwela. Crystal, do you have a question related to opening of classes?
Yes, this is for obviously what's going on in the world with the pandemic. For Professor, ano na po ang nangyayari sa Philippines in your university, especially in light of the ongoing pandemic and the school reopening po dyan?
I think
Yeah,
to
right.
put it more, I think what we also want to know, Professor Salvador Amores, is kung may pag-aalala yung mga magulang na pabalikin sa face-to-face classes ang mga anak nila, are there measures being taken in place or being put in place para mabawasan yung mga apprehension na yan, yung pag-aalala na yan ng mga magulang? What are the, kumbaga, ano yung new norm sa mga
Safety
pagbabalik
measures.
eskwela ng mga estudyante?
Yeah. Sa UP Baguio, of course, ang mga guro dito kailangan mag-accelerate din, no, sa paggamit ng digital platform. So may mga continuing training on how to use such as this digital technology and all that, no. So sa unang semestre nung katatapos ng pandemic, lahat ng klase ay naging online via Zoom, at meron ding UP VLE, that's the UP Virtual Learning Environment, no. So lahat ng estudyante nag-train din paano gumamit noon, kasi lahat ay nasa Zoom na lahat, no, or what you call as there's a Google Classroom, there's a UP Virtual Learning Environment, no. So it's quite challenging for the teachers and the students, no, pero pinipilit namin na ma-deliver, no. So yung courses, or we also prepared course packs, no, which was sent to the students para hindi na pumunta sa university, kasi ang priority ng university is really the safety of the UP constituents, no, and most of all the safety of the students, no. So hindi muna pinapapasok sa university ang mga estudyante, but what we do is to do etong classrooms or online classrooms, no, ang ginagamit. So we send the course packs, we have the course syllabus, and we also conduct synchronous and asynchronous learning, no. So siguro magtatagal pa ito and hanggang sa susunod na taon. So ngayong papasok na semestre, pero the faculty are exploring creative ways, no, how to teach online, no. It's very challenging kasi you feel like you're talking to a black box, no? Kasi parang and it's hard to elicit responses from the students sa ganitong setup. But we are trying our best to do this, no, to do this teaching online.
Great. Pero Professor Salvador Amores, vaccinated na po kayo?
Yes, vaccinated 2 doses ng Pfizer. So ang university naman lahat ng faculty and ang mga empleyado doon ay fully vaccinated. So sana ganun din, sana all for the students, no, para hindi ma-affect.
Okay. May tanong po,
There's a
Professor, sa
question,
inyo. There's a question from Ivy Monisa Sibincic na taga ano po ito, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Professor Amores, I'm into local knowledge. I'm happy to see you here at ka-Konek. Please let me know if you have books or webinars that I can check.
Okay, thank you, Ivy, for that interesting question. Actually, I'm also the director of the Museo Cordillera. This is the ethnographic museum of the University of the Philippines, and we have series of webinars posted in our website, museocordilleraupb.edu.ph. So may mga museum webinars doon and also related to culture. And we have a 3D virtual tour of our current exhibition on Cordillera Textiles. So lahat ng exhibition sa Museo Cordillera naka-archive din doon. So first, the inaugural exhibition on tattoos. Second, on the Feast of Merit in the Cordillera. And the third one is on Cordillera Textiles. So you can go to the site and watch it. We will also become a museum ambassador, no? Gagamitin itong website na ito as resources for learning.
Okay. We will
Yeah.
post po yung mga website na ito na na-mention ni Professor Salvador Amores para po ma-visit ninyo. Comment from Joms Anthony Gutierrez. Thanks, Rose Eclarinal, for inviting Professor Salvador Amores. I think si Jomel is also a professor at UP Baguio. Tama, Jomel. I hope I'm correct. Nasa UP Baguio siya nagtuturo din. And dati yata niyo siyang estudyante, Prof?
Sino
Si
to?
Jomel? Tama ba? Let's not mention when. Okay? Salamat po sa mga comments ninyo. Kung may tanong po kayo kay Professor Analyn Salvador Amores, pakilagay niyo po dyan sa ating One Connect page at subukan po natin na sagutin yan. In the meantime, Prof, saan po ba kayo pwedeng i-follow kung mayroon kayong social media accounts?
Nasa Facebook naman ako, Rose. At siguro mas maganda i-follow ang Museo Cordillera kasi kung gusto niyo matuto tungkol sa kultura ng Cordillera, matatagpuan doon lahat, mga aklat, mga webinars, mga exhibitions, no, tungkol sa kultura natin. Makikita nyo ang mga ito doon, no. So we are also coming out with our Agaramid Tayo, Let's Create. So this is connecting our museum collections with local artisans, no? Like yung basketry, weaving, tattooing, and all of that. It will be featured soon at our website. So that will be a good resource, no? Lalo na sa mga Filipinos in diaspora who would like to get in touch with their local culture in the North, then this is the website that you can check out.
Maraming salamat po, Professor Analyn Salvador Amores ng UP College. Tama po ba? Baguio?
UP Baguio.
UP Baguio. Wala na pala yung college. Ayan na.
Yeah.
Yung age ko lumalabas na kasi UP College na noon. Anyway, sa UP Baguio, maraming salamat po. Thank you for joining us this afternoon and for this discussion. Magbabalik po ang One U Connect. Thank you.
Thank you.
This segment is brought to you by World Remit, a better way to send money.
Katuwang ko ang World Remit para mabigyan ka ng magandang bukas. Kahit malayo man tayo sa isa't isa, minsan hindi may iwasan ikumpara ang ating sarili sa iba. Pero ang perang pinadala ay nagsisigurong kasama ka pa rin nila sa pagtupad ng inyong mga pangarap. Sobrang proud ako bilang iyong ina kasing proud mo ngayon na nagsisimula ng panibagong yugto ng tagumpay.
Nagbabalik po ang One U Connect at ngayon po dito sa Immigration 101, pag-uusapan po natin how to apply for a refugee status in the UK. Crystal, ang tanong ko ngayon is, bakit ba napakainit na issue itong pag-a-apply ng refugee status ng mga refugees from Afghanistan?
Well, as you know, the whole world is watching, you know. the recent events happening in Afghanistan, and has been a mass evacuation of people happening right now in Kabul airport. So marami tayong mga nakikita sa news, Afghan citizens, foreign nationals, including Filipinos who have escaped Afghanistan. And we know some of them have come to the UK and some have already returned home to the Philippines. So today we are going to be talking about how to make an application for asylum. Yeah, those anyone who's wishing to stay in the UK and how to get refugee status. So, Afghanistan is what's happening there. The Home Office is very aware. A lot of vulnerable people, and they have actually set up a special scheme for them. You've actually mentioned that. And it's actually called the Afghan Citizens Resettlement Scheme. It's not effective yet, but they're hoping to settle Afghan citizens within the next 5 years, about 20,000 people to settle in the UK. In the meantime, what they're doing, they've actually set up this scheme already, what is called the Afghan Relocations and Assistance Policy, or ARAP. Which was launched in April 2021. It is for Afghans who have supported British efforts in Afghanistan, for example, interpreters and other personnel. So it's very specific for Afghan citizens. But now, going back to the main topic, how to make an application as a refugee in the UK, you don't need to actually complete any forms at all. It's a phone call to the Home Office. You make the phone call. As when you arrive in the UK, you say, I want to claim asylum. You have to do it straight away. If you wait for too long, like a few years, in a few years' time, the likelihood is that they reject the application. So,
Chris,
there is a number.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we first show them the interview with our kababayans who were rescued by the British forces, and then we will come back? Panoorin po natin ito because last week, alam po natin, brinake din natin ito sa One Connect. May mga kababayan po tayo na nakarating dito sa United Kingdom because they were rescued by the British forces at nagtatrabaho po sila sa British companies. Nandito po yung kanilang panayam. Mark and Jepoy, can you please tell me, kumusta yung experience nyo ng pag-travel mula sa Kabul papunta dito sa UK?
Napakahirap, ma'am, from Kabul to UK kasi start namin doon sa paglabas ng village, sa accommodation is masyado kami nag-rattle kasi nga sa napakadaming napakadaming Taliban na nakabantay na sa gate namin. At yun nga, kinukuhanan kami ng mga video at ayaw na kaming pabalikin. Yun ang sabi nila na wag na bumalik. Ano yun, mabilisan yung movement namin para makapasok kami doon sa gate. Kasi may time lang na dapat makalabas na lahat. At so far, okay naman, mabait naman sila. Wala naman silang ginawang masama maliban lang doon sa yun nga, may na-experience ako. Sa akin, at saka yung isang kasama ko na Pinoy din, na nandito ngayon sa isang building. May isang, ewan ko kung it's a joke or seryoso siya na itunutok niya yung baril sa akin. So, laking pasalamat ko at tinutok niya, ma'am, yung weapon niya sa akin. At hindi ko lang siya pinansin, hindi namin pinansin, dire-diretso lang kami ng lakad. At yun, sa awa ng Diyos, hindi naman niya itinuloy. At yun, mabilisan, nung nakapasok kami, almost 3 hours kami, o almost 4 hours, nag-antay kami doon sa labas kasi ang dami, ini-screening pa Isa-isa kami, tinitingnan lahat ng mga dokumento, passport namin. At kailangan ma-check nila kung talagang isang company kami. Yun ang tinatanong. Tapos takbuhan na yun, ma'am. Pagdating namin sa loob, standby ulit kami, wait for instruction
Oo.
ulit.
Ikaw naman, Jepoy, how was your experience? Kumusta naman? Meron ka din bang ganyang karanasan na natutukan ka ng baril?
Hindi na po, ma'am. Actually po, ma'am, ako po ay nasa duty po ako ng embassy ng Sweden. Tapos narinig ko po sa radyo na yung Taliban po ay papasok na sa aking pwesto. At kaganda naman po, ako ay marunong ng lengguwahe nila. At nagpunta pa ako sa bunker ng aming sa Sweden Embassy.
Oo.
Pagkatapos po noon ay kumontak pa ako sa mga kasama ko na baka pwede nila akong sunduin dito. At sa awan ng Diyos, ako naman ay kanilang nasundo. Pero sa daanan po, ma'am, napakadami pong Taliban na nakabantay sa amin.
Hindi ninyo ini-expect na ilalanding kayo dito sa UK? You were expecting that you will be in Dubai and then after that repatriated to the Philippines? Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Tama po
nagulat
yun.
na lang kayo, lumanding kayo ng UK. So paano nangyari?
Actually, nalaman namin nung nagdumaan na kami ng Grace eh. Sabi, ba't nasa Grace na tayo? Sabi, yun nga, pa-UK na daw. After nito, nag-refuel lang doon sa Grace. After nun, continuous na ang flight papunta dito sa Birmingham.
Okay, so
Airport.
galing kayo ng Kabul, naglanding kayo ng Dubai, nag-refuel kayo ng Greece, tapos Birmingham.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I see. So hindi kayo binibrief na pupunta na kayo ito ang mga pupuntahan ninyo, talagang lang, yung mga decisions na yun were made there nung nakaalis
Yes,
na kayo
ma'am.
ng Kabul.
Opo, ma'am. Kasi nung nandun kami sa Dubai, may sinabi lang sa amin doon ng taga-Dubai na employee na pumunta kayo sa ganito, may nag-assist sa'yo ng mga parang...
So what is your message?
Para sa akin, kung bumalik na kami ng Pilipinas, sana maging maayos ang mabalikan namin o magkaroon kami ng maayos na trabaho. Dahil nga sana, ayaw din naman namin na maging pabilang sa pabigat na mawalan ng trabaho kasi pamilyado rin kaming tao. Ayaw din namin magutom kasama yung aming pamilya, mga anak. No? Ang hirap po kasi ng ganun. Kaya po, sumulong kami kahit na delikadong lugar para lang sa pamilya namin. Kaya kami nakaranas ng ganitong experience na hindi namin inaasahan na dumating sa ganitong pagkakataon. At sana nga, dahil nga sa British company, sana mabigyan din kami ng chance kung ano man may chance, may tulong dito yung British, UK.
Okay. Crystal, we spoke with a few other Filipinos na nandito sa United Kingdom, pero dahil marami po sa kanila ay umalis na o na-repatriate niya, lumipad na papunta ng Pilipinas, at as we speak, nagpre-prepare yung iba at yung iba naman paalis bukas, kaya yung mga nagkonsulta po kay Attorney Diaz, kay Solicitor Crystal Diaz, we had it pre-recorded before the show dahil hindi po stable ang internet connection nila because they're traveling. So, according to DFA, ang na-repatriate na Filipinos from Afghanistan, 185. 24 pa ang nasa Afghanistan at 16 or 16 yung nag-request ng repatriation. So yung tanong ng mga kababayan natin sa atin pong in-house solicitor, narito po, panoorin natin. So Eros, you wanted to consult with Crystal Diaz, with Attorney Diaz, about some questions related to repatriation and maybe opportunity to work in this country. So ano yung gusto mong malaman?
Kung mabibigyan kaya kami ng chance na mag-stay dito, what would be the process kung sakali? If in case gusto namin mag-stay with my team. Yun lang muna. Kung mahirapan ba kami sa process o medyo magkakaroon kami ng difficulties para sa processing.
Okay.
It's a good question, Eros. Thank you for raising that. Because I was actually thinking if that would be possible for our kababayans like yourself who came from Afghanistan. So you came from Kabul. You were you were working sa Kabul, diba? And you were employed by a private company. Ang employer mo ay Heart Security Limited. Tama ba yun?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So British company sila, diba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, ang simple answer ay hindi straightforward yan. So merong process na kailangan mong i-meet if you want to work sa UK. Now, your situation is quite, unique because you have come from a war-torn country, Afghanistan, and you had to be rescued by the British Air Force, I believe. I've read, and thank God you arrived safely with your other colleagues. But if you decide to stay in the UK, you have to think about what type of work, what would be your visa. Now, normally, if you are a foreign national, you have to apply from out of country. So that would mean you have to go back to the Philippines and apply from there. So it would be your employer to sponsor you. Now, I've checked, in fact, Heart Security Limited, they are registered with the Home Office. So they have a license to employ migrant workers. And with your line of work, I understand you work for the security sector. Tama ba yun, Eros?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
Yeah. So I've actually checked, merong occupation code dito sa UK where you can work under the Protective Service Associate professionals. So you could be a security manager, you could be operations manager, security services overall. So that would be possible. Now, in order for you to apply for your visa, ang employer mo would have to issue what is called certificate of sponsorship or cost ang tawag doon. But they cannot easily do that. They have to do it properly. Otherwise, their license may be taken away. So it has to be under the normal circumstances. At the moment, yung circumstances mo, it's unique. But I don't know if your employer will be willing to take the risk of issuing a certificate of sponsorship for you to apply from the UK. So if you're willing to come to work to the UK, you have to be willing to go back muna sa Philippines, to go back home, and then make the application there. The processing there is actually quite quick. It would take about 15 days, and if they pay extra, it would be less than 15 days to issue the visa. Okay. Now, in the UK, they have this scheme for Afghan citizens who were working for the government. They come here and they can claim asylum as a refugee. And they have actually set up what is called Afghan Citizen Resettlement Scheme. But that's only for Afghan citizens. Of course, you're not Afghan. Is that correct? You're a Filipino national, so you cannot benefit from that scheme, I'm afraid. So if you're thinking applying as a refugee, then it may not be possible because, you're a Filipino national and the Philippines at the moment is considered as a safe country. You're not fleeing Philippines for fear of persecution. So it doesn't apply to you. But there is a good chance that if you speak with your employer, if there's a chance for you to work in the UK, then there's a possibility of you being issued the visa, but it would be out of country. That would be from the Philippines.
Ang sinasabi lang, Eros, ni Attorney Diaz is, kailangan muna ninyong umuwi ng Pilipinas and then find a sponsor to come to this country para everything is clear. Malinis.
And if they have their employer willing, if they could get their employer who's already registered, by the way, with the Home Office, and they're licensed to employ them as foreign migrants, all they need to do is to apply for certificate of sponsorship. So that would be their ticket. If they have the costs, then they can make an entry clearance application under the skilled worker visa.
Malinaw na sa inyo. If you have more questions, you can just ask now.
So far, okay na ma'am kasi na-enlighten na kami na nakausap ko naman din yung team. Okay, we just go home, enjoy with our family, and wait for another opportunity.
Great, sige. Maybe, ano yung gusto ninyong iparating sa mga kababayan natin na tumulong sa inyo? Giving food, lahat ng klase ng assistance na hiningi ninyo. What would you like to tell them?
Yan. Isa ba? Siyempre, gusto namin magpasalamat sa lahat ng mga Filipino Pilgrim community na tumulong sa amin dito. Food, small items, water, sleepers, everything. They supported us. And hindi lang kami. Kasi sobra-sobra yung mga pinapadala nila sa amin. And which is, we shared sa ibang mga lahi din na kasamahan namin dito. Na alam namin na kung anong wala kami dati, same din sila, wala din sila. So, lahat ng items, to be honest, lahat distributed sa lahat ng rooms. And they are very happy. Sabi nga nila, Pilipino, napaka-madiskarte talaga.
Oo.
So, very happy talaga sila. Yung bayanihan na ginawa ng mga kababayan natin, na-shared namin sa ibang lahi, even sa ibang company.
Crystal?
Thanks for sharing that, Rose. Recapping that, I have explained everything. So I was just worried I didn't explain myself very well about how to make an application for asylum. Pero when I was talking to Eros and the other gentlemen, it's quite clear that they can't apply really here in the UK. They've got to go back home. But I wish them the best of luck, and I'm sure they'll be fine. It's just really what's happening in Afghanistan is very worrying at the moment.
Okay. So I guess we covered everything for that segment, Immigration 101. You've explained it so well. Yan ang sinabi ni Ivy Moniza Sibinsich na nanonood po mula sa Bosnia-Herzegovina. Thank you, Ivy. Ayan, kung may tanong po kayo related to that, you can put it on this page sa One You Connect, no? Batiin ko lang, Crystal, ang mga nanonood sa atin simula 1:00 ngayong hapon. My brother Edmond is watching. Galing ng bayanihan ng Pinoy. Totoo yan, brother. Alam mo, nakakabilib yung mga kababayan natin. They responded doon sa appeal ng sa social media. Pinangunahan niya ni isa sa mga unang Pinoy, si Molly Romulo Palma, at bumuhos yung tulong sa ating mga kababayan na naghihintay ng flight nila papuntang Pilipinas. Batiin ko rin po si Nelly Seran Fami. Tita Nelly, thank you for watching. Sino pa po yung mga hindi natin nababati dito? Eleanor Mago, good evening.
Yeah. Carmen Hickey and Tina Santa Ana.
Okay.
Avid fans.
Okay, hindi pa po tapos yung segment natin or ang episode natin. Magbabalik po tayo. Why? Because yung 5 last winners ng Sala Wika In, mapapanood po natin sa pagbabalik ng One You Connect.
The Mega Award for Outstanding Community Service to Miss Rose Eclarinal.
This award is not about me. It's about overseas Pinoys who deserve to be recognized because they continue to showcase the core strength and values of Filipino migrants.
By giving us this recognition, what we are really celebrating today and the people we are in effect honoring are the everyday overseas ones.
Somebody said once that you will never do anything in this world without courage. So I took the plunge and I joined One EU Connect.
Most, if not all of us who do service to Filipino communities overseas, do so without expecting anything in return.
Magandang hapon, nagbabalik pa rin po ang One You Connect at sa pagtatapos po ng buwan ng Wika, makakasama po natin ang Yapak General Secretary. At siya po ay magbibigay po sa atin ng spoken words poetry bilang pagpupugay o pamamaalam na rin sa buwan ng Wika dahil September na po next week, no? So, welcome to the show, Ken John Victor Garcia III, Yapak General Secretary, and he's in the Philippines. Hi, Ken. Ang ganda naman ng pangalan mo. Please unmute yourself. Wala po kayo. Can you hear you? Can you hear us? We can't hear you. Oh, nawala si Ken. Oh my goodness. Ken, are you there? Audio check. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Ken. Ayan, si Ken po ay magbibigay sa atin ng special number, spoken words, poet. Before the announcement of the winners. Ito naman po, another
He's obviously
talented
prepared.
Pinoy.
He's wearing barong Tagalog, as you can see, right? So he's well prepared for the show.
Yes. Bago antayin natin yung audio ni Ken, may I greet also yung mga nanonood sa atin. Molly Dos Palmas. Ayan, Molly, maraming salamat sa iyo for linking up with our kababayans, lalo na yung kababata mo. Thank you for watching. And thank you sa tulong mo sa ating mga kababayan dyan sa Birmingham and Northampton. Also watching is my brother, Rosauro. Ayan. And nandito, baka magtampo kang hindi natin binati kasi regular viewer ito ng One You Connect. Dan Revelo. Hi, Dan. Thank you for watching. Kasama namin si Dan yesterday. Meron kaming, we tried this one Filipino restaurant in Camden na magbubukas po, Spoon and Rice. Ayan. Kung foodie kayo, mahilig kayong sumubok ng mga restaurant, ito po, additional Filipino. It's Asian fusion actually yung food nila. Hi, Ken! Naku, wala pa rin yung audio natin. We can't hear you. Ano ba? Sayang naman to, Ken. Kailangan maayos natin yan.
He's been waiting for ages, to he's waiting for his
Yes, oo, kasi alam mo, I think you have to, Chad, pwede ba natawagan natin si Ken? Baka kailangan i-open niya yung sa Google, yung link, no? What do we do now? Marami po tayong pwedeng batiin, pero shall we go for our winners?
Yes.
I-announce muna natin yung winners natin. Alam ko, inihintay nyo ito ng napakatagal na. This is the last 5 ng winners po natin ng Sala Wikain, no? Okay. Ang first winner natin, Chad, we have, mapapasubo rin si Crystal to read some Filipino Tagalog words. First winner, Jojo Ramos. Wala ka ng pag-aalinlangan, pag-aklat ang iyong kinapitan. Ituring ang paaralan na sariling, ito yung second niya, ituring ang paaralan na sariling bahay upang makamtan ang maunlad na buhay. Ito pala yung, sorry, that's part of the first. And then, pag-aaral at kaalaman ang siyang sandata sa tunay na laban ng buhay. Hashtag Send with World Remit. Hashtag Salawikain Philippines. Ayan, first winner, Jojo Ramos. Crystal, because this is Buwan ng Wika, may I just say this? Kasi alam mo, and hindi lang ito pagkakamali ni Jojo Ramos. Ito po, nag-edit ako, nag-check ako ng script ng mga writers natin, and may nagkakamali pa rin po ng paggamit ng salitang nang at saka ng nang na maiksi NG, tsaka ng na mahaba NANG. So, para lang makadagdag doon sa discussion natin ng Buwan ng Wika, please remember, let me have this, magiging teacher ako ngayon. Yung nang na maiksi, ginagamit yan sa, if it marks as object of the verb. For example, bumili siya ng damit. She bought a dress. Nang na maiksi yon. And yung nang na mahaba it's used as an adverb. Meron tayong adverb of manner, adverb of time, and it answers how, di ba? Tapos, yung nang na mahaba is usually, it's used as a conjunction. For example, nang madapa ang bata, umiyak siya. So, nang na mahaba po yun, not na NG. Kain siya ng kain. Tsaka pag inuulit yung salita, like for example, kain ng kain, tulog ng tulog, nang na mahaba yun. Tapos, for example, ito, nang magbigay siya ng salita, huli na ang lahat. Nang na mahaba pa rin yun. Because it's used as an adverb. It's used as a conjunction. So, yan. Nanalo si Jojo because of yung content niya. Pero yung dito niyang nang na dapat maiksi po yan. So, it's that. While waiting for Ken, kaya nagkaroon ako ng opportunity to discuss this. Kasi pet peeve ko siya sa Filipino. Natutunan ko po ito nung high school ako.
Am I audible na po ba?
There you go. Fantastic.
Yes.
Shout out ko lang yung teacher ko ng Filipino nung high school kasi doon ko siya natutunan. Yung nang na maiksi, nang na mahaba. Teacher ko sa Filipino. And then nung college, kaya kung mga high school kayo, absent kayo nung ituro yung nang na maiksi, nang na mahaba, sa college ituturo pa rin po yan. Okay, that's the first winner. Jojo, mabuhay ka, Jojo. Pero in-emphasize ko lang yung nang na maiksi, nang na mahaba, no? Para may natutunan tayo sa Buwan ng Wika. Ngayon po, narito na ang ating guest. Mula po siya sa Pilipinas, si Vincent John Victor. Mayroon pang isa. What? Les Mora?
Garcia.
Thank you. Okay, nandito po ang spoken words poetry ni Ken. Paiksiin na lang natin.
Sure, ma'am. Okay, magandang gabi po muli sa inyong lahat at magandang hapon sa mga kababayan po natin na nasa UK. Sa muli, ako po si Vincent John Victor L. Garcia III mula sa munisipalidad ng Pidoran, probinsya ng Albay. Ang aking spoken word poetry ay pinamagatan kong Saan Man Ako Sumuot. Iba, parang kakaiba, halot walang pagkakaisa, halos lahat ay nagsasalita. Kay gulot, ang sakit sa tenga, hindi ko maintindihan. Kay rami ng boses, di ko alam kung sinong pakikinggan. Iba't ibang tao, iba-iba rin ang tinuturan. Tila kinagis ng wika'y unti-unti natin nalimutan. Kay sakit sa ulo, bakit ang gulo? Bakit ganito? Kay rami ng tao, ngunit wala akong makausap na kahit na sino, napapalayo na sa orihinal ang mga dialekto, ang dating kasanayan, bago pa man ang ikaw at ako, bago pa man maisilang ang lola't lolo natin sa mundo, nakakalungkot, nakakatakot, damdamin ko'y napupuno ng poot, di malaman kung saan ako susuot, di alam kung paano aayusin ang gusot. Pinilit ko ang aking mga mata at diwa ko'y nabalot ng dilim. Ang langit ay natakpan ng ulap kaagad na kumilimlim tila nakikisabay rin sa nadarama ng aking damdamin. Nakakapanghina, ang puso ko'y parang sinaksak ng punyal na kaitalim wikang Pilipino. Pinaglaban sa digmaan, nakamit at nagamit muli kasabay ng kalayaan, dugo at pawis. Buhay ay binuwis, mabigyan lang ng karapatan, mabigkas lang ng buong layan, magamit sa pakikipagtalastasan, ngunit wikang dapat malaki. Unti-unti nang pinapatay, ang lahing nararapat na gumamit ay nawawala ng buhay, sunod sila sa uso, sa wika, iba'y sumasabay, alpabeto at salita ng pagkatao, nawawala na ng saysay, kinurot ko ang aking sarili, ang wika, mga mata ay marahang ipinikit kong muli, hiniling na bigyan ako ng katahimikan kahit na sandali, isip ping mabuti na nagawang kong pagkakamali isipin ang wika. Dapat nating pinili ang wikang Pilipino na nakabibighani isang bagay na tunay na katangi-tangi, isang bagay na ipagmamalaki ng ating mga ninunot bayani. Nais ko nang bumalik sa kasalukuyan, panahong mayroong pagkakaintindihan, panahong nagpapahalaga sa wikang kinagisnang, panahong iisa lamang ang salitang tinuturan. Gusto ko ng liwanag, panahong naiintindihan ko ang mga paliwanag, panahong alam ko ang salitang tinatawag, wika ng kalayaan at Pilipino ang sinasagisag. Takot pa rin at panggamba, yun ang aking nadarama. Ang panaginip na yun, ano nga ba ang halaga? Isa ba yung babala o isang paalala, isang bagay na tunay na mahalaga at tumatak sa aking alaala na iintindihan ko na, alam ko na, pinapaalala nito ang aking pagka-Pilipino, pinapaalalang wag limutin ang aking pagkatao, pilitin man na baguhin ay di dapat magtatalo kultura at tradisyon, minana mula sa mga ninuno, sabay nating ipagmalakit, alagaan sa haplit na pagbabago. Itong wikang Pilipino ay di dapat kumupas, kaliwanagan ang hatid, pagkat ito'y ang ating ilaw, kaayusan ay nakamit, pagkat ito'y sa ating pumukaw, ipalaganap nating muli. Hiling ko na lamang, hindi ko na muling malimot ang karanasang yun ay nagdulot sa akin ng lungkot, ngunit kay rami ng aral ng aking napulot, patuloy kong iuukit sa aking diwa at puso saan man ako sumuot.
Great. Congratulations, Ken. Ken, bakit naman
He
si
disappeared now.
Yeah,
There it is.
yes, bigla niya siyang nag-unmute at saka tinanggal niya yung video niya. Ken, my question to you is this. Pag nagsusulat ka ng tula, saan ka kumuhugot ng mga inspirasyon mo? Katulad ng spoken words poetry ginawa mo ngayon.
Sa nararanasan ko po, ma'am, kung ano yung nararanasan ko sa paligid ko.
Oh, I see. So yung mga yung surroundings, but what about yung pagpili mo ng lengguwahe?
Most of the time po kasi mas ginagamit ko yung Tagalog.
Mm-mm. Yes.
Doon po ako
so
mas nasanay.
I mean, it's so emotional. You can feel, the power of the way he was saying the words. So each word means something, but not just that. You can actually feel it, right? So, ang galing. Well done to you.
Thank you so much po, ma'am.
Kaya mo bang magsulat ng tula sa Bicolano?
Yes, ma'am. I can write naman po, ma'am. Kasi po taga Bicol ako, but ang father ko po ay taga Piduran Albay, and my mother is from Isabela. Pero dito po ako lumaki sa Bicol.
Are you still studying?
Yes, ma'am. Second year college po, ma'am, here at Bicol University, taking up Bachelor of Science in Genetic Engineering po.
Wow, that's impressive.
Well done. At magaling siya sa wika because of itong ang kaniyang passion is writing and performing spoken words poetry. Ken, pwede mo ba kaming tulungan na magbasa ng winners natin?
Sure, ma'am.
Sala Wikain. Okay, we have the second winner.
Yes, we have the second winner po, Virgilio Quizon and Eileen Oyobo. So ang kanya pong Sala Wikain, let me read it po. Ang grado ay hindi basehan ng talino, ang mahalaga ay naiwan sa ulo. Yan po ang ating second winner. So tayo po silang dalawa.
Great. Wow, congratulations. And then we have our fourth winner. Go ahead, Ken.
Yes, we have our fourth winner po, si Ma'am Melay Marcelo, at ang kanyang salawikain po ay huwag paaalipin sa hirap at kamangmangan. Pag-aaral ay gapang upang ito ay mawakasan. Yan po ang ating fourth winner.
That's hard.
I know, that's okay.
Hindi na po masyadong Ano kasi po, I think elementary pa lang po ako nung masyadong pinag-aaralan namin ng mga salawikain.
Okay, next. The last salawikain winner.
Oh, our fifth winner po ay si paano po bang bigkas ng pangalan nito? Mr. or Miss Terry. Ang kanyang salawikain po ay sa dulo ng paglalakbay ng aral na walang humpay, buhay na matiwasay ang kanya namang alay. Yan, siya po ang ating fifth winners.
Awesome.
Well
Very good.
done. 5. Okay. So, meron po tayong overall 10 winners. Yung pong first 5 in-announce natin last 2 weeks ago. And then the last 5 po, ito yung 5 winners. Yung mga nanalo po, makakakuha po kayo ng message mula po sa amin, sa ka-Konek, para po ibibigay po natin kung yung mga detalye saan po ipapadala yung prize, yung pera po na napanalunan nyo mula sa World Remit. Crystal, meron ka pa bang panghuling tanong kay Ken? At bago ako magtatanong rin ng last question for him. Go ahead, Crystal.
So it's back to school, di ba? Ang topic natin.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
Kamusta? Ano na yung pagbabalik sa eskwela? Paano na yung dyan?
Yes po, ma'am. Update lang po dito sa Bicol University. Ngayon po, still nasa online class po kaming lahat at nagsimula na kami po 2 weeks ago at still I think hindi pa rin po kaya ng face-to-face, especially sa amin sa course po namin na geodetic, the engineering and other courses po, but I think yung nursing and medicine po ay magkakaroon sila ng limited face-to-face po na klase, and yun po balik eskwela na po kami dito. At still, nandun yung struggle sa online class kasi mas gusto namin yung face-to-face. Pero praying and hoping po na matapos na ang lahat, wala ng COVID at lahat na nakapabakuna para po bumalik kami doon sa nakasanayan namin dati na face-to-face po.
Ken, paano naman yung mga estudyante na walang kapasidad o walang kakayahan na magkaroon sila palagi ng load or credit para sa online classes? Where do they go?
Yes, ma'am. Marami po akong kilalang ganon, and ako din po ay na-experience ko siya before nung kakasimula lang namin nung klase, nung first year college po ako. As in po wala, isang device lang yung gamit ko, and yun, napakahirap po actually na ganun yung sistema ngayon na kailangan namin maghanap ng load, kailangan namin magkaroon ng internet connection. And yun po, meron din po kasi ma'am ginagamit na yung ibang nagsasabi naman po kami sa mga prof namin if hindi po talaga kaya ng internet. So nagsisend po sila ng mga modules wherein para makuha nila yun and ma-access po nila yun. And yung iba naman po, we are very thankful din kasi minsan may mga program and activities po yung mga organization namin sa school, namimigay po sila ng mga load card and other gadgets na pwede nilang magamit sa online class po.
Great. Okay. At meron ka bang mga gustong pasalamatan at batiin and maybe to promote the Yapak? Because itong Yapak ay napakagaling na grupo nito, Crystal. Go ahead, Ken.
Yes, hello po again. I am John Victor Garcia Editor po, the Yapak Secretary General. I just want po to napasalamatan ang Juan, ka-Konek, and Ma'am Rose for inviting us ni Kuya Jed, and also malaking opportunity po ito para sa amin. And also gusto ko din pong batiin ang lahat ng Yapak officers po na nandito sa Pilipinas. Kanina po kakatapos lang ng aming competition sa online quiz bee po namin, na tinatawag po naming Tumpak Yapak, pak na pak, wherein po maraming kabataan po ang sumali kanina around the Philippines. They are from Mindanao, Luzon, Visayas. So maraming salamat po sa mga patuloy na sumusuporta sa Yapak. At yes, gusto ko lang din batiin yung mga taga Bicol region, and I hope na nasa maganda kayong kalagayan and keep safe po.
Maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng nanonood na mula sa grupo ng Yapak at yung mga nanonood na taga Bicolandia, mga kababayan ko, mga Uragon talaga yan. Lalo na yung nag-connect sa atin sa Yapak Philippines na si Mr. Kim Nieva na isa ding officer ng Yapak dito sa London. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Mabuhay kayo. And thank you doon sa performance ninyo ni Jed. We really appreciate it para marinig po ng mga kababayan natin na nandito sa ibang bansa kung gaano kaganda ang wikang Filipino. So, Ken, mabuhay ka at sana sa mga susunod natin na live streaming ay makasama pa rin namin kayo. And good luck
Yes,
sa inyong pag-aaral, online classes. Mabuhay po kayo. Diyos mapalos, mga Bicolano. Thank you.
Thank you
Crystal,
so much po, ma'am.
Thank you. Crystal, your greetings. Yung mga babatiin mo before we close the show.
Yeah, well, actually, Jojo Ramos is watching us at this very moment. Ang sabi niya, isang nang pakagaling na pagkakatulang mabuhay ang wikang Filipino. I hope I read that right. We also have Gary Obrojas. Sabi niya, galing naman. And we have Mayus Ramos. Yes, true. 5 ang nag-aaral sa mga apo ko. Iisa lang ang mobile ko. Sobrang hirap ng module. Okay? Who else we have? I think I've read this. Okay, we have Kim Saez Nieva, I think you mentioned, and Sean Earl Matias Madamba. Shout out mo Ken kasama sa bahay. And Jenny T. De Guzman also joining us today. We have Nenet Solares Sara and Carmen Hickey there.
Okay. Babatiin ko rin nanonood yung mami ko na nasa Bicol region, na nasa Camarines ngayon. Hi, ma'am. And then, shout out sa mga kuya ko na nanonood. Kasi pag hindi ko sila binate, baka hindi ako magkaroon ng service pag uwi ko ng Pilipinas. May kuya JR, may kuya Don, and may kuya Edmond. Yung kuya Edmond ko, siya yung nagbibigay sa akin ng load pag nasa Philippines ako. Yung mga load. Alam mo naman sa Philippines, di ba? Hirap ng internet, hirap ng load. Anyway, thank you for watching today. And may magandang, let me just read this one. Si Perla Ignacio Zabala, sana lahat ng kabataan ay ganyan ang mga salita pertaining to Ken. Kasi pag nagtatagalog, naririnig ko dyan sa Pilipinas, halo-halo na. So she meant na kung gusto niya yung pure na pagtatagalog na hindi na nga yung halo-halo siguro, she meant yung katulad ng pinag-usapan natin ni Jed last time na may mga salita ng Lodi, merong English, merong Taglish and all that. Pero mabuhay po yung Yapak for continuing to promote Filipino culture, Filipino language. Sino pa yung hindi ko nabat? Ay, nako, may isa pa. Babatiin ko po kung nanonood ngayon. Belated happy birthday kay Miss Ella Marcos. Nasa Camarines Norte rin po siya. At kay Augusto Hirang na nag-birthday din po. So, salamat sa panunood nyo at pagsuporta po nyo ng One You Connect.
Ma'am,
so,
pwede pa bang bumate?
Go ahead. That's really the last.
Yan, binabati ko rin po pala ang aking mga founders sa Yapak, sila Sir Elijah Villanueva, Sir Kim,
yes,
and Ma'am Mikey, and other founders po ng Yapak Philippines and Yapak London. Thank you so much po. Very supportive po sila.
Elijah, mabuhay ka. Thank you for linking us up with Yapak Philippines sa lahat ng mga paghihirap mo dito at mga pagsisikap mo para to promote Filipino language and culture dito sa London. Mabuhay, Elijah. Okay, so dito po nagtatapos ang One You Connect. Ito po ang Kwentong Pinoy, Kwentong Migrante, Kwentong One You Connect. Ako po, si Rose Eclarinal.
And I'm Crystal Dias. Hanggang sa muli.
Hanggang sa muli sa One You Connect.
You Connect.
One, saan ka man dalhin ang kapalaran, iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman, pinagmulan at babalikan. Konting tiis na lang at hanggang